Sun just coming all night long. Here we are again. Oh, yeah. And away we go.
Hey.
Hey. We'll start the film over since you didn't get to see the Noah part, the last part of that. It is quite good. And then we go to the Tower of Babel next week.
Very cool.
On the Christian tour group. We will be visiting all 6 tiers of the ziggurat. We will be going to the luscious Babylon gardens. No, we will not.
No, okay.
I come on camera, but the sun is just blinding. It's, coming in from the right side here.
Oh, good Lord, puppy. Okay, go lay down. Everybody came home all at once. Puppy's going nuts.
Oh, puppy is nuts.
Oh, so
so we had like 36 views, over there on Twitter, for our earlier Bible stream, and 17 on YouTube. So, you got to look at all the numbers. I do agree with Pops. Pops was kind of defending, he was getting like 2 views on 2 or 3 views on his streams, right?
Right.
Off of YouTube. And he was like, no, if you combine all of them together, I get it,
Yeah. And then, you get, I think the rewatches get calculated in a separate category or something too.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes them a while to, like, I had to wait a few hours to get not that I was waiting with bated breath, but I was curious about yesterday's longer stream. If you think about it, it was massive. It's about tops, on the view time, but still, man, I mean,
yeah,
when you're pretty close to 30 minutes of average watch time for everybody, that's
pretty darn good, brother.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder why, we're pretty much staying where we are on subscribers.
You know how it goes. At some point, something will shake loose. Oi, Carrie. Hello.
Something needs to shake loose.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Do we need to play strip poker? I don't think we can do that here on. But anyway,
you might have to head over to Rumble.
Shake you loose.
Hey now.
As the joke goes. Hey, Carrie. Yeah, we had a lot of fun yesterday. Oh man, they had me rolling. I was laughing, just going with it. You get a good laugh. You just want to sometimes finish it. Sometimes you cut it off short, but
Right.
it's not that you can't stop. It's sometimes you don't want to stop. It's
Good.
it's and I was thinking, that was a good dopamine rush for me yesterday.
There you go.
When you laugh, it
Yeah.
supposedly releases
Good
that
for you.
dopamine into your brain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Nature's drugs.
yeah, it's been windy here. It's been, the sun, like I say, it's sort of wintry, I didn't know how much it was going to rain. I had the truck around back, and so in the rain, it really didn't rain that much, but I didn't want the ground to get too muddy and everything and be, hey, Eric and Boyd in the house. And so I pulled the truck around front, and that's where it is now. Rex's heart can handle only so much. Yes. Not
Mhm.
handle. Hell, Rex and Shadow. The way
Hey,
I
hey.
stumble over my words isn't any wonder.
Howdy, Eric. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're feeling a little better.
Oh, was he feeling
Yeah, he
down?
said he hasn't been feeling real well lately. Well, he found they had mold in his apartment, and they had to
Oh,
do
crap.
they had to do the whole removal thing, and then the chemicals they're fucking nasty too. So I guess he was having some breathing issues. So hopefully Eric's feeling better.
Yeah, it's best to go with like vinegar and citrus and natural if you can, and do away with the chemical cleaning. But I'm just
Yeah,
now learning some of that.
I don't know that Eric did it himself or if
Right,
where he goes
right.
if
Yeah.
they took care of him. Yeah, I don't know the details.
Well, I had 3 small polyps removed from my colon. Was it earlier this year?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, he had a palate removed as well. Shoot. All
Well,
right.
Elsie had about 15 or 16 removed out of his.
Oh shit.
I think they removed 6, and then he went back like 2 months later after he healed up, and they did about 16 more. And he's
Wow.
very thankful that they got him early and that you know things worked out the way they did.
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's a lot what we eat, processed and different stuff,
Well, yeah.
and
Processed
yeah,
food is not doing good shit for anybody.
I know. And I go over his house, and if I ever want a snack, if I ever want some toxic crap, I can just grab for it because he's got it there on the calendar,
Yeah.
uh, on the counter, which is a great break for me because I don't usually. But it's like if the amount of if it was clear, okay, this only has this amount of toxicity, or this turns into formaldehyde, or this. If they actually spelled it out, you'd never buy it.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
you wouldn't hardly eat anything.
they use bleach on the mold, and mildew maintenance cleaned it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
Well,
yeah, the bleach will kill the mold and mildew, but it's also not good
I
for people to
shared this.
breathe. So,
I shared the story yesterday about Norm. When you know, I had a missionary stay 3 or 4 days, all week with me, I guess, from Africa, and the day he was supposed to come in and talk, and we had visiting churches from all over. We had a packed house just about. Norm got up there, gave the he gave the greeting,
invocation. Yeah.
and come sit down on the front pew. And then by the time I got back in, had a massive heart attack and was dead. Uh,
Oh
and
shit.
there was 3 people trying to revive him, nurses, in the congregation. But he was gone. He had like 17 stents in his heart, you know.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that kind of upset the cart before we even got going, and we went ahead and gave the message, but it was a hard sell, you know. I don't know, you know, it was a, you know what I mean? It's hard to.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, that must have been
He was
something.
kind of asking support for what he was doing over there in Africa, and yeah, we kind of that didn't go too well, you know. After
Ah,
all that, yeah, he had yeah 17 stents in his heart. I didn't even know that was possible. Carrie says bleach is a temporary fix. I have mold on my bathroom and bedroom ceiling. Hasn't affected my health. That stuff just keeps coming back. Yeah, um, it goes through spore mode though and releases stuff into the air that you breathe. So I know I have some mold in the house that needs to be removed in certain spots, especially like the bathroom, like you were saying. Um, Need to try and keep that under control. And if it's black mode, yeah, you need to do something about that too, real quick. I'm not the
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not beneficial. When and where did this happen, Rex? Sorry, I missed that. That was at my former church. When and where? Years ago.
In a
It's been
galaxy far,
some,
far away.
huh?
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
That's
And we lived happily ever after.
And then Rex pulled out his lightsaber.
Yeah, and it was purple. Now Hex Allen, he can pull out his, you know, as you know.
Oh, excuse me while I whip this out.
Well, see, this says 27 views, and then I'm seeing impression or view 36. So I don't even know if I'm reading that right over on Twitter.
I, yeah, I couldn't tell you.
And like they've been slow to put up our. I mean, the last thing I posted was our Bible thing, right?
Hmm.
And it's got you, me, and Risey and Smoking Ray talking there. And oh, okay, now it comes up. See, or something, you know. Now today's stream comes up. 0 viewers, but it says like on view 3. So I don't know.
I, I don't know, man. It's the way they do shit's crazy.
Oh, maybe 0 viewers now, but we've had 3 sort of hit it. I don't know.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, maybe
I
active viewers
Yeah.
at the moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense, I guess.
But
I
things have been slow to come up on Twitter. It seems like they've been. You know, I asked Rozzy about the YouTube monkeying with numbers. Has it
mhm.
happened to him? At first, he kind of blew it off, said, "I don't keep up with you," but yeah, he really does. He,
Oh,
you know, he explained, you know, explained it as best he could. Don't leave the sentence there. Hex can pull out his whenever, get it context or explain fully. Yeah, his lightsaber. He actually bought a lightsaber at the not this last convention, but the convention last year, San Diego Comic Con. He bought a lightsaber that makes noise and lights up. It cost him about $350 or something. It was a lot of money, and that's not the most expensive one you can buy. I think people are crazy to pay that, but you like what you like and you collect what you want to collect. So
yeah.
yeah, so Rich doesn't, Hex doesn't think so people don't think Hex is a flasher. I get it. Um, I will say
But
one
Hex
more
is a
thing.
flasher. Oh, wait.
The damn pipe was brass or copper, had a small hole, was leaking for quite some time. I didn't cause it. That caused all the mold and mildew in the drywall. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and
no, I went through something very similar, Eric, in the house I'm in now. We lived without a bathroom for like 6 months. Well, we had a toilet, but we had I had to set up my camping shower in the basement so we could take showers. It was terrible.
I would love to replace all the plastic or whatever with copper piping and stuff. It's supposed to have beneficial things, especially to your water. Uh, there's a lot of things you could look up on copper for that. Because it has to do with activating the water that's conductive, and it's we are electrical.
Yeah, electrolytes and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah,
But at the same time, when copper pipes get old, they can cause quite a few problems.
true. That's right. They do corrode and stuff.
Mhm.
You would definitely have to take a better, a more inspective view on something like that. But something said once the water goes through the plastic, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. And of course copper is going to be expensive, right? But
Yeah.
hey, if it's health wise beneficial, there is no greater investment than your health. There really isn't. I know people, you know, take a devil may care, gonna live my life, throw it out the window, but you really do have to take care of yourself somewhat. Otherwise, you're gonna shake apart on re-entry of trying to get out of bed every day,
Yes.
which I seems like I do anyway. But you could always be worse. Bathroom ceiling created the mode I have now. He says, "Ooh, um,
Yeah, that's why they make special paint for the ceiling in the bathroom.
trying to do plumbing he wasn't qualified to do because water to come through my bathroom ceiling created the mold I have now. Yeah, and there's moisture. You gotta have moisture with mold,
Hmm.
even if it's particulate. If it's from a shower or something, and then it kind of drifts upward. It's humidity.
Yeah,
Doesn't
well,
take a lot.
yeah, just like if you take a hot shower, you'll get condensation
Oh
above the
yeah,
shower.
hot shower. Very true, Rex. Very true.
Yeah, a
I
good exhaust fan is essential as well.
I used to lift weights. Eric says was a jogger. Ooh, that's hard on your knees. Walk instead.
Mm. Oh,
Walked a lot. That's good. That helps activate your mind. Actually, they say if you're three ways you can is take a walk. Like up a hill, something like that. That releases stuff in your brain like so does if you take a hot shower and then you hit the code or something right afterwards, which really sounds like sucks, but you're trying to shock your brain into, it's supposed to really help you. What it does is it helps you grow, I guess, new connections in your brain, neutrons. I don't know. There's stuff out on that. Things can still happen, however. I think that what protected me and helped me years later with my heart. You never know what can happen. Absolutely. Um, Tried to replace the bath sink and toilet. You don't have to replace them anymore, like your bathtub and stuff. They can just put like a covering over your old bathtub. It's amazing. Um, that's a item out there too, where you can just like put like right over that. Tried to dump it in front of my garden and claim it was mine to get me in trouble. Another neighbor stuck up for me. Wow. So it wasn't, yeah, okay. Oh, he tried to replace the bath. It wasn't you. Yeah, okay, got it. uh, that's like putting an old dirty mattress out in front of somebody's house. You just don't do that. That's crazy. But I'm sure it's probably happened. I've seen people dump stuff and run off, basically. 15 days till Christmas, if you're counting. We don't really have that much time left on the calendar. But December's not over yet, thankfully. It's about a third over. Um, what did I say? 15 days. 15 days till Christmas. So there's 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 days left. Just want to make sure. 21 days left in the month. A Charlie's Brown Christmas first aired 58 years ago in 1965 on CBS, the year I was born. I doubt I watched that playing of it, but I did watch early subsequent repeats. I might
Yeah.
have. I might have been in my mother's arms and just drooling on myself, and they
You
might
may
have
have.
watched it, I was alive, though. I was, out of the womb. I was, footloose
What
and
did you
fancy
turn off?
free in the 60s.
Oh,
Eric did not. I mean, Shadow did not. Eric said, did Shadow leave to go shopping? Laugh out loud. No.
what? No. I got randomly kicked.
Murder, She Wrote board game came out in 1985.
Ooh, that sounds like nonstop excitement.
Yeah.
I want to be. Oh shit! What was her name?
Domino's Pizza opened up in 1960, then named Dominique's, was founded by Tom Monaghan and his brother James in Michigan. I'm not even going to try and say the play. Ypsilanti something. I don't know why you want to spell this like this. Ypsilantie. Yeah, Michigan.
Okay.
That must be an Indian derivative,
I got it.
A lot of the Michigan towns are like Milwaukee, are. But Domino's opened up 1960, December 9th, 1960 in Michigan. Who knew?
Great. I had no
We
idea.
Didn't Start the Fire was number one on Billboard 100 in 1989 by Billy Joe.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Never did like that song.
Billy Joe, the Chipmunks, Rocking Through the Decades, hoisted by Will Smith, NBC, 1990. Yeah, I didn't watch that. Drop Zone, starring Wesley Snipes, premiered 29 years ago, 1994. Did you see Drop Zone? I might have.
I don't remember if I saw that one or not.
It's over. It's over. I believe that's a ELO lyric. It's over. December 9th, 1992, Prince Charles, not Princess, Prince Charles and Princess Diana released a statement announcing their separation after 11 years of marriage. Wah, wah. And, sugar's off the cookie and the shine's off the penny at that point. 1983, Hall & Oates released their version of Jingle Bell Rock.
Ooh, really?
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh,
That
I
was
think I did. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese's movie, 49 years ago, 1974. Rhoda
Can't
first
remember
aired.
what it was about. But
Rhoda first aired 45 years ago, 1978, starring Valerie Harper.
Mm.
Oh, God. Brokeback Mountain.
Oh God.
Ang Lee's Brokeback Mountain premiered 18 years ago.
Hmm.
Ooh, Heath Ledger. Wow. Le Freak by Chic was number one on the Billboard Top 100 in 1978. Oh, Narnia. Yeah, The Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe opened in U.S. theaters 18 years ago, 2005.
Oh, I watched those with the kids. They were all right.
Yeah, they could have been better, I thought. I like the PBS. Did you ever have these mints? I believe I did. Yeah, they had the little
Oh
crystals
yeah,
in
Bellamy
there.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Prince
that.
Charles cheated on Princess Diana, which meant a lot of Brits was against him becoming king. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they didn't forget that, right?
Well, eventually, I guess they did. Uh,
Eric says, why not Billy Joe's best work? Kind of annoying. Damn, that's a tough word. Yeah. Yeah, sugar free Velaments, by the way.
well,
Twins opened in theaters 35 years ago, starring Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
what a strange pair of twins.
Hmm. That was kind of strange. The Carpenters at Christmas, 1977, ABC was on TV.
Oh,
And that had our friend Harvey Korman in it too.
oh really? Hmm.
Hmm. Richard and Karen Carpenter in their first heartwarming Christmas special, adding plenty of good holiday cheer. Our Harvey Korman and Christy family McNichol. She was big.
Yeah,
Plus
yeah. Christy.
Kukla and Ollie. No
No
Fran, I
Fran.
guess. Kukla, no Fran. They didn't. Fran did wasn't even in there.
Fran
Uh,
was on strike.
Helen Reddy's song "I Am Woman" hit number one in 1972.
Huh?
That was a big song. I'm a woman. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the animated series, premiered 28 years ago on CBS. 1949,
Oh, I
Gene
don't remember
Autry
watching
released
that.
the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that became a hit for sure.
For sure.
1949, see, that was 10 years after Rudolph was introduced in that Woolworth giveaway comic book.
Huh?
1981, Rankin and Bass, the Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. Did you see that? I did.
I don't think I remember that one.
Um,
Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
narrator was Art Carney, leads an Irish brogue to a tale of leprechaun gold and a wicked banshee.
Hmm. Interesting.
There you go. Look at him. Got his pocket watch. Not one that you really get, played a lot, I guess it didn't go over that well. Hey, Mike. Mike Walters in the house.
Yeah, Mike.
Most heartwarming Christmas movie was Jingle All the Way. Fight Me, Eric says. Jingle all the way.
That was Arnold Schwarzenegger too, wasn't
I think it was. I'm not sure. The Supremes recently released their debut studio album, Meet the Supremes, 61 years ago in 1962. Clint Eastwood's Sudden Impact, released 40 years ago in 1983. Dirty Harry is at it again. Sudden Impact.
Cool.
You might have been a little too old for the track racing, in 1984, but there's one released in the Sears catalog from Tyco.
Oh yeah, those were cool. I like those.
Loop de loop and around, and
Yeah, they kept getting cooler and cooler, and I was outgrowing them,
right.
But they were pretty neat.
Was this for the movie? I imagine it was. The MC Hammer released Adam's Groove 32 years ago in 1991. Wasn't that for the movie? The accompany the movie?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Because didn't they come out, the Addams Family, with the remake about 91? Al Pacino's Scarface, 40 years ago, 1983. I think I still have the two Scarface on VHS. I definitely have it on DVD, but I used to have a double pack. The Scarface was so long a movie, they had to put it on two VHS tapes.
Oops, sorry about that. I was muted for a second.
The Lame movie with Arnold and Sinbad. I am a bit tired, have to get some rest, and then do a lot of cleaning and rearranging things here. Sounds like Dillard's life too after his flood. Max the cat, and I wish you all a great weekend. Take care. Gotta go. See you, Eric.
Bye, Eric. Have a good night, buddy.
It is about night time. The Beach Boys released Little Saint Nick 60 years ago.
I don't remember that. All right, dude. We're renewing an old CG meme here. I gotta walk down the street and buy a pack of smokes because the wife forgot her phone when she went shopping earlier. So I'm taking you guys mobile. I may leave
all through the house. Nothing was stirring, not even a. I ran to the kitchen. What could it be? Christmas crunch from the cabin to me.
This crunch is special to make breakfast merry. It's loaded with yummy red and green crunch berries.
Very sweet, delicious.
But it's only here till Christmas. Christmas crunch is a merry part of this balanced breakfast.
Christmas crunch. The old captain putting on the red and white for Christmas time, 1991. Cereals often do that. Breakfast cereals, they often have the limited edition flavors and stuff like that.
Yeah, change up colors and change the box or something.
1972, in the early 70s, it was pretty wild. They did a lot of the celebrities on Scooby-Doo. Jerry Reed was one of those on Scooby-Doo. Grand Ole Country Music Hall, Jerry Reed, sold out. That must have been a hoot. I'm sure I saw that. Look at that. Jerry Reed. And that was before he was really big, probably when he first came out. I don't know. Chipmunks rocking through the decades. Yeah. I don't know if I saw that. I tried to catch the Christmas specials. Tried to. Wasn't always successful with it. Going to the store with the hawk. $1982 on the spinner rack. You could get Firestorm. Here going against one of his was it the Hind? Introduced in Firestorm's first series that only lasted about 6 issues and was canceled with a lot of other DC titles in 1978. They severely cut back. Interesting thing about this cover is the left side there is mostly photo background. So partial photo background. This is Pat Broderick. That would be an interesting one. I don't think I had that. It's issue 10. Probably had it back in the day. Fury of the Firestorm, the Nuclear Man. I was reading it when it first came out. Pat Broderick was pretty good on that. Nice Black Hawk here. Swastika cover. I did buy this Arak, Son of Thunder. I think I bought most of those. I do have a complete collection of Arak, Son of Thunder, and they released one annual. And Adventure Comics, one of my favorite books of all time, right at the beginning, the outside set here. Adventure Comics. This is a digest size comic. Last couple of years, Gil Kane cover. Last couple of years, they started out with the Challengers and the Legion of Superheroes, and then they went to Challengers Unknown and Legion. To Legion and what's that say? To Legion and something stories in every issue. Something heroes. I don't know. My eyesight's not doing too well right now. Love those. 1982 also. I bought this. This was Superman annual #1, Gil Kane cover. Doing his own inks, drawing and doing his own inks. Justice League of America, probably bought this. That doesn't look familiar, but it's 212. I know I bought up to 200 at least, maybe a little past 200. George Perez doing the cover artwork, and I believe the insides too. So that was one reason I was reading it. Can't believe I didn't buy all of those. Wait a minute, skipped over one there. I did buy, I've had this. I don't know if I bought it. I like these DC Comics Presents because it presented new characters that I had not seen before, like Airwave. Whatever happened to Airwave, stuff like that. This is issue 55 toward the end of the run. I know I bought Wonder Woman here, and it has a Huntress backup feature. That's Gene Colan cover. Quite interesting. $1980, going back a little bit here. Thor. There's one of Galactus's Guardians, Airwalker. Keith Pollard. I would have to look at the inside to see, if I bought that or not. But I was buying Thor at that time. Moon Knight, not so much. Nice early, more Neil Adams looking Bill Sienkiewicz artwork. I did buy this for sure. I bought all 25 issues of Savage Sword of Conan. Actually, think I sold it a couple of years ago, but I actually had a production plate to the cover of this cover. I bought a lot. I tried to get a lot of the She-Hulk, all the She-Hulk on that first run production stuff as I could. This is another Pat Broderick. Love the pattern on that, number 27. Micronauts, I didn't always buy them, but they always caught my eye, and I always looked at them. 1980 also, I did buy this one, the special 40th anniversary issue of Captain America, The Living Legend. That's a pretty cool cover. I think we skipped over one. There we go. Amazing Spider-Man. That's early John Romita Jr. artwork. With the Frightful Four. And I bought this because I'd never seen the Orb before. The Orb is kind of an old Ghost Rider villain. I'm thinking Badansky. I can't think of his first name. Was probably drawing it at this time. And the Rampaging Hulk, which started out as the Rampaging Hulk magazine, but later just became the Hulk. Don't think I saw this one. It was kind of hit or miss, them coming out. Sometimes I'd look at them and go, because they were $1.50. They were more expensive. Black and white. It just, if it really caught my eye, I bought a few of them, at least 3 that I can think of. I don't think I've ever seen this one with the clowns in the foreground fleeing the circus top. X-Men 20th anniversary issue. Definitely collected that. Issue 175. I think John Romita Jr., he did that back in the day, 1983. His style's really changed. That's interesting. Let's see. Go back. Somehow I backed up out of it. All right. Over here. Yeah, 1975, going back a bit. I've tried to collect all these Skull the Slayers. I've gotten some actual, whoops, I didn't know you were kicked to the back there.
Oh, that's all right. I'm back.
You back from the store already?
Yep.
Wow,
yeah, it's
that
nice,
didn't take long at
nice
all.
thing about living right down the street from downtown.
I believe I have this issue, or I might even have the production artwork to this cover. I don't know. It's so I do have some Skull the Slayer type stuff. He was kind of interesting character, really interesting first issue that had a Gil Kane cover. And the splash page is kind of like split in half from modern day to prehistoric. It's pretty interesting. One of the most interesting designed splash pages I've seen. This issue 4 had Black Knight, the original Black Knight that was a villain in the 50s from when Marvel was called Atlas Comics. So that's kind of interesting. The principal character was a Vietnam veteran. Marvel 2-in-1. I would come along later for this. I don't think I was collecting at this time. The Thing and the Son of Satan. Another Gil Kane cover.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those. I can't remember if I picked them up like all in one shot, by buying another collection, or if I got them off the stand as they came out. I think it was a combination of the two.
Tales to Astonish, featuring Deathlock the Demolisher, that was created by Rich Buckler, and who drew this cover. Issue 34, his seminal issue was issue 25. So it'd been running for almost 10 issues at this point. And the Mighty Modern Western, never saw this. This is another Gil Kane cover. Kid Coat 2, Gun Kid, and the Rawhide Kid together. Cool. Doom in the Desert. Looking at that, I would say Gil Kane did his own inks on that. So that's all Gil Kane. I can tell his inks. Backing me all the way up. All right. 1975. I do have this issue now. I didn't have it then, where he's going up against Sandman. I think I might have had an interior page to that, or just, I don't know. Jack Kirby doing Captain America, 195. I think he started doing Captain America again with issue 193. So this is about 3 issues deep into his latter run of Captain America. Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, number 38. Another Gil Kane cover. Just didn't pay very much attention. Didn't interest me.
No, never a big Master Kung Fu fan. I picked up a couple here or there.
I bought this one. I believe I have a copy of this in my collection here. It might even have a first appearance of something. I think this is a Celestial issue. The Celestials make an appearance or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is a Keith Pollard cover. I liked his work on Thor.
Yeah, Pollard's good.
Yeah, he's not credited, a lot. Not going 1987. I believe I have this. Mike W. Barr writing. This was a prestige format. A Batman, Son of the Demon.
Oh yeah, I got that
one shot. I believe I have this because I bought the comic book shop out. Jerry Bingham, who did the art chores on it, is from Arkansas.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Checkmate.
Yeah, it's a
Checkmate
like a
number
graphic
1.
novel size.
Yeah, it was kind of, I guess you could call it prestige format, graphic novel.
Yeah.
Didn't always get these. I did get some of them. George Perez, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Couldn't get everything, but it's
I didn't buy a lot of them, but I picked up some.
It's good, tight stuff. Justice League International. I'm not sure what issue this is. It looks like 12, but I know with issue 7, it just became, okay. Here's the way it goes. It started out just as Justice League, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was done by Kevin Maguire artwork, kind of funny. With issue 7, I know this because I have a production piece from issue 7 and did the research on it. With issue 7, it became Justice League International.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, I knew there was a change at some point. I just didn't remember when.
Also from 1987, I were buying all these with Todd McFarlane artwork. Amazing Spider-Man. Todd McFarlane cover, early one. I think this is maybe his second one on his run. Alpha Flight number 57. I think this is a can't be sure, but I think Mike Mignola cover, but maybe not. Probably not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mike Mignola did do some Alpha Flight, but I don't know if he did that latter issue. Solo Avengers, might have had this at one time. By this point, I'm kind of buying and stowing them away. If it was Avengers related, I tried to collect it, but my gosh, it was hard because you had Force Works, Solo Avengers, West Coast Avengers, the regular Avengers. There's 4 titles right there. It became a bit much after a while. Power Pack going up against the old Sentinel. That was always a fun read.
Yeah, Power Pack was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Written by Walt Simonson's wife, Louise.
Yeah.
For the most part. 1981. I know you had this. This is Uncanny X-Men with the Dave Cockrum cover.
Oh, yeah.
I bought this Avengers where they were coming up against the wife-beating Yellow Jacket.
Oh.
217. Ron the Space Knight. Al. That's a Al Milgrom cover. With Torpedo. Torpedo didn't get a lot of he didn't get a lot of exposure. Another Al Milgrom cover. You know, if somebody was going to rival Gil Kane for doing covers, I think it would have to be Al Milgrom, because Al Milgrom did a lot of, you know, since we've been looking at comics, he did a lot of covers for Marvel.
Oh yeah,
Al Milgrom did.
mm-hmm.
It was kind of hit or miss. I probably bought this Hulk. I was reading Hulk at this time, 269. I think, you know, if it was interesting, that's I'm thinking Trigon's his name, the mechanical guy there on the left. He came straight out of the Fantastic Four. I think the other two were like Hulk villains. It's interesting when the villains kind of cross over, you know. 1982, Paul Smith. I adored his stuff on I thought it was the closest to Byrne artwork after Byrne had left X-Men.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I said, yeah, he was a nice replacement.
And Paul Smith, I think, since he was doing X-Men, you know, he was hot at the conventions when, you know, known. I think I've met Paul Smith. I don't. After his X-Men stuff, where did he go though? I mean, what happened? Whatever happened to Paul Smith? I'm sure he still did stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea where he ended up.
You know, I would have stuck with. I wish he would stuck with the X-Men longer, because he did do some very nice issues. I probably had this in my collection just because it's a Machine Man. Didn't like this kind of era of Iron Man stories myself.
No.
But anything with Machine Man on it, I kind of like to go back and get. I did buy this.
I always liked Machine Man.
You know, by this time, I'm kind of like getting disillusioned with everything that they're trying to sell me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This was excellent. I bought this. I think the Incredible Hulk 281, where he's in space. Hulk can't breathe in space. You know. I almost said can't. Can't.
He can't
breathe.
He just can't.
1976, the Lizard and Stegron going up against a very shaky.
I forgot about Stegron.
Stegron, hell yeah! I think Stegron made his first appearance in well, maybe it might have been Amazing Spider-Man, but I first remember Stegron from Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure.
In fact, I think that was probably one of the first Peter Parkers I bought. I had Stegron in it. Here's 207 of Captain America, got a Jack Kirby cover. And Thor, another Jack Kirby cover. He did some great Thor covers.
Oh, yeah, he did really nice Thor covers.
But I mean, you know, I look back at some of these issues that I might not have picked up. I don't, you know, and of Jack Kirby's, and I appreciate them, you know. Even the Avengers covers that at the time I was like, I think this is Dave Cockrum. Dave Cockrum did do some of the you know, Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu covers. He also did around that time Iron Fist covers.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he do
1977? There you go. There's your Lizard representation. Godzilla King of the Monsters, issue 8. Yeah. Rage of the Red Ronin.
Oh, cool.
He looks very much Lizard there, Godzilla, on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who did this cover, but it's a nice cover.
The Samurai Warrior.
I
Remember
love
the
Red Ronin. He made an
yeah.
appearance in the Avengers and whoops, skipped over one. Sometimes it does that. Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. That's another Dave Cockrum cover there.
That's what I was just gonna say a minute ago. Didn't Cockrum do some Daredevil covers too?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
And
he was out there.
and there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing with Matt Murdock. This is Ron Wilson artwork. I was kind of hit or miss on these. Of course, I had limited funds. The Human Fly, I never picked up.
No,
I
I
had a
never
bunch
bought
of the
that.
Human Fly in my store, though, in back issues.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. That's where
Yeah.
I first found out about the Human Fly. My partner probably had them and put them in the store. 1988. This is when West Coast Avengers was the best, I think, when John Byrne did it. Al Milgrom did a lot of the West Coast Avengers, and I collected it, but I wasn't that, and read it, but I wasn't that excited about it. I was glad when they put Byrne on it, a better artist. They probably did that for sales. This is a Charles Vest cover, Web of Spider-Man. He did the very first Web of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
This is issue 49, I believe. But that's Charles Vest cover. His spinner hand looks a little small there to me. I could be wrong. Down there by the
yeah, it's hard to tell in the small little picture. So
right. Daredevil. This is kind of the time that John Romita Jr. is sort of changing his style, somewhat. On his Daredevil run, which was part of the Inferno, and where he introduced Blackheart, I believe the character's name
Blackheart.
is.
And what was her name? Typhoid Mary was featured quite a bit back then.
And Al Davis doing this Inferno cover, number 7 of Excalibur. I collected most of. Alan Davis to me was a selective thing, artist. It's not like
Did he have a Hulk run for a while? Like after Dale, was that?
I know he's I know he's
I'm
the Hulk.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
You're thinking Frank, what's his name, maybe? Took right after
Peter.
Dale.
Yeah.
The artist's name was Frank something.
Yeah, but I was getting confused with the writer. The writer was what? Peter David, right?
Yes. I think so. I maybe.
All right, never mind. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
I think so. I think you're right, because that's when I first noticed the writer Peter David. I think, didn't he write some of the Del Keown stuff or all of it?
Yeah, he was writing it while Dale was on it.
I think the writer chores became the same.
Yeah, what was that? Frank, shit. Somebody in the chat save me. Frank, kind of took over right after Dale. He was pretty good.
I think I've collected this.
It'll come to me
at
some point.
But this is a wonderful Hulk cover. We're always going up against the Thing. The Thing always comes out badly in this thing. Hasn't the Thing ever learned? The Thing cannot defeat the Hulk, per se.
No.
This has to be a Bill Sienkiewicz
not
cover.
without some kind of enhancement or trickery
tricking
or something.
him.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, trapping him somehow. I did buy this Power Man and Iron Fist, I believe. I bought it a few years ago for my collection. It is a black sensitive cover, one Doombringer. I don't think I bought it when it came out, but nice cover. Got some of that Kirby crapping up, Kirby Crapple going. Epic Illustrated. The only ones of those that I collected was the last Galactus story that John Byrne was doing, and they never finished it.
I grabbed it whenever I could find it, but I just never saw it all that often.
1983. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Bobby.
Trying to see who did the cover, but wonderful cover.
Oh yeah, nice cover.
I must have missed this one when it came out.
Yeah, I
That
did
that
too.
reminds me of like I think this is the most unusual G.I. Joe story ever. This is G.I. Joe number 21 with no dialogue. It's the silent issue.
Oh, okay.
hmm That's the one you want to get.
You say
And
so.
the X-Men there, 179. That's
I got
that's
that one.
John Romita Jr.
Yep.
Shadow Cat or Ariel or what do we call her? Kitty Pride
Kitty
bearing
Pride. God, she's had so many names.
wasn't that Calabac from the Mohawk?
Caliban.
Caliban. Okay, marrying
Yep.
Caliban in that. Yeah. Morgan Le Fay. Yeah, Morgan Le Fay going up against. I forgot the Shroud is there. The Shroud became a mighty Avenger at that time.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was for a little while.
Yeah. Oh, they had all kinds of B-listers. I mean,
Oh yeah,
featured
they
here.
rotated a bunch of people for a while there.
Featured here is the Black Captain Marvel, and you've got Doctor Strange, Wasp. You got Spider Woman back there, She Hulk, Scarlet Witch, almost a woman's team. You got Star Fox. What's his
Wait,
name?
with
Wasn't he
Spider
like
Woman, the black and white one with the red hair?
the red and black and yellow uniform, the only
Oh,
uniform? They
the
should have
original.
stopped right there, really.
I didn't mind the kind of black spider costume version of
I didn't
Spider-Man,
mind it either. Um,
but I didn't really know a lot about her either. I don't know what her story was.
right. Yeah, I mean, you have a wonderful costume like that. I can't say that I bought a lot of Spider Women issues. Again, it was on Who. I know Carmen Infantino did a lot of work on that, and there were just certain
Mm.
artists I just did not appreciate. My big exposure to Carmen Infantino was his what he will always be remembered for, his Flash work, but his later Flash work in the 80s, which is different than his 70s, because you level up over time. Well, I mean, your style changes. Not everybody. Some artists, I think, level down, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they get lazy, I think.
yeah. Like Gil Kane, he was inking a lot of his own stuff. I didn't mind it that much. I know Vic hates it. But, Al Milgrom, Gil Kane probably did the most covers, that I've seen out there.
I don't know. Lately, I mean, I hate to say it, but like the stuff I see Frank Miller putting out, it's just like, damn, that is not.
Yeah.
But Frank Miller, I know.
He's not in that great of health.
Yeah, and I mean, it may be due to that too. I'm not trying to be too critical. It's just
Right.
like, wow. That's why, like I said, I hate
Well,
to
it's
even
kind
say
of like
anything.
Mike Mignola, right? He's so his work looks, doesn't have the punch that
Oh,
it's like good sound effect. He phoned it in.
there you go.
I'm looking at my Wraith of God right now. It's looking pretty good,
Oh, dirty fast.
But now it says Keon on the thing here, so
Oh, you
Del
got the
Keon
KO
did
cover.
something Wraith of God, or
Yeah.
was that the cover? He did a cover.
Yeah, he probably did a cover.
Okay, well his credit's still on the second print here.
Cool. Maybe he did. Well, maybe he did that second print cover that you got.
Maybe it's included in the book. No, this is an Aaron Lopresti, I believe. This is not a Del Keon cover. I think I would know the difference,
Mm.
Really
You
haven't
think?
taken a good look at these since I unboxed them. Too much action for one comic. A
Too
little
much
bit of the
action.
retro stuff is okay, where they make it look like a classic Marvel comic, but
Mhm.
I think and Aaron's done a little bit of that. I really like this cover that's split with Garbage Man and Wraith just in there in the nightclub on one side. That's a nice cover. I thought it was the one of my favorite of the lot. That's why I picked that one. And I went the extra mile and bought the Garbage Man book,
Oh yeah.
because Garbage Man's just dope. He reminds me of a combination between Swamp Thing and um what's the character's name? It's on
Concrete.
the Metamorpho.
Oh, Metamorpho. Okay, yeah, yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sort of a patchwork, carrot type character
Hmm.
thrown together.
Yeah,
Metamorpho was never too popular, really.
and I
Never
mean
quite
he
got
fits
his due.
right in with like Swamp Thing, Bog, Golem,
Now,
all the
when they
big
were doing the
monsters.
Terrifics a few years ago, he kind of gotten some notoriety for being in the Terrifics. And
I
I
don't
have a
remember.
slab #1. I got that because I thought it was a double cover, and it's just the way it was worded. But I don't regret buying it. I got a good deal on it, and I think Terrifics #1's going to go up in price over time. So
Yeah, I'm
I
not familiar with that one. So.
yeah, well, that came out later. That was the time where they had like a second iteration of Rampage, which was like they were making comparisons. DC's got a character called Rampage, and it's like the Incredible Hulk. And then they had a character called Sideways
Hmm.
that they were comparing to Spider-Man. And they had the Terrifics that was Mr. Terrific, sort of a future, sort of like the Legion of Superheroes character, the Phantom Girl. And they had
Okay.
Metamorpho, which was kind of like Mr. Fantastic could stretch, right? Well, they had
Yeah.
Plastic Man. They had Plastic Man. So they
Oh,
were kind of mimicking the Fantastic Four. At least people said that it was at that point they were going Hulk, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. I don't know what was going on, but I was trying
so
to
DC was pretty much trying to mimic Marvel.
maybe at that point. Welcome to the
Sounds
show,
like it.
Ethan Van Sciver. No, it's Lorenzo.
Hell,
Hell, you got that. Oh,
You could
man.
see where I might get confused.
So you've probably seen some wackiness pop up again for me in your feeds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Maybe. Some of it I can't, some of it I don't. I do.
Yeah. There was a lot of it. I think that's kind of
well,
I think I'm more
what have you
apt to
been up to,
catch.
Lorenzo?
I think I'm more apt to catch, comments if they're associated with a picture. A lot of the comments, some of them I catch, some of them I don't. If it's just words, you tend to, as I'm going through there real quick, I sometimes miss that stuff.
Any interesting pictures accompanying anything?
Well, if you put some Sleestakian stank on that thing, I would probably,
I just find it interesting, the whole manga comment. I know plenty of people don't appreciate manga.
mm-hmm,
I haven't read a lot of it. I play
yeah,
more like say I play a video game
mm-hmm,
every day that's got a lot of like manga and anime influence. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of funny because Ethan was going like criticizing the wide eye type. There's one a particular type or types of anime where the characters, I think especially maybe maybe if they're a little more young or naive or whatever, they have bigger eyes. And I think that
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the influence actually, because
Mm,
one of the leading anime people. I mean, like maybe back in the '60s or something, was heavily influenced by like old school Disney cartoons. So
right.
the classics.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah,
and
I know what you're talking
I
about
just,
with
I
the
just thought
the
it was kind of
classic
funny that
manga eyes.
it
Yeah.
was like, and I know he was being facetious to a certain degree. I mean, like saying, "Oh, this is like, this the drawing is more simplistic," and that is true with
Hmm.
so some with a particular style manga. I think that he's talking about it can be a lot more simplistic than what he's doing. In the characters have big eyes, and then he said something about women and the size of women's brains and stuff that I don't want to get your channel struck, but
Right.
no, I know he wasn't being literal with that, but he does make quite a bit of comments about women, and and I don't think he really respects that particular style, at least of manga, which I
Yeah.
found entertaining because
I know they did that. What do they do? Squish and stretch, sort of animated look for like Spider-Man's eyes. I kind of like that. You know, it's you. You would almost have to animate it. You couldn't do that live action. It's just too exaggerated. But that's the great thing
yeah.
about comics. You can really
Mm.
exaggerate it. Pardon me, Lorenzo. It is time for a commercial.
Oh,
The hell?
You're about to see the Me TV, the Sony Watchman. It's the She TV,
The
the
Sony
Luigi
Watchman.
TV, the first truly personal TV, the Sleepy TV, the world's first flat screen television, just over an inch thick, or is it thin? And one even has an AM/FM radio, the Referee TV, the Sony Watchman TV, the one and only TV for the one and only you.
The referees teeth.
They were billing that as the first flat screen TV, howbeit very small.
Yeah, was that like an inch and a half, 2-inch screen?
Yes, very small Walkman
oh
TV,
yeah, I read about that.
1983.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's what I was reading about in the history because I was trying to figure out when we first started having flat screen TVs, and I was quite surprised that it was like, well, technically it was in the early '80s, right?
Well, I have a story about that. Barbara Walters did a special with Bill Gates, and Bill Gates had a prototype of. They went through his house. It had the latest technical innovations in it, and he had a flat screen TV, and that was like a decade before they were ever really released big time to the public.
Microsoft also was making a computer in Japan that was like they called it the MSX. They were somehow. I mean, I don't think they. I should correct myself. I don't think they were necessarily manufacturing them. I think they were different brands, but they had their own standard that was different from, like, say, Microsoft DOS or Windows or whatever they had at the time in the U.S. Um, and I think the graphics and the video were quite were quite like good for the time. I don't know
Really?
if it was like on par with like say like an Amiga or something, because Amiga, is what they used for like Babylon 5. They used a few different Amigas all connected to each other, I guess. But so I don't know if it was as good as an Amiga or better or what, but the MSX series, it could have been. Like, for some, it just never took off in the West, though. But it was like
Hmm.
the graphics and sound were better than like even though it was a Microsoft product, or Microsoft was affiliated with it. For some reason, the stuff in America was more. I don't think the graphics and sound was as good, and maybe it's because they were more like business computers,
Yeah.
IBM PCs for a long time.
I think I've told you, I don't know if you were aware, but Michael, you mentioned Babylon 5. J. Michael Straczynski is going to do a remake.
I've heard about that. So hasn't he already done a cartoon, like an animated?
Yeah, that came out. I have it right here in front of me. It's called The Road Home. And it's an original movie, Babylon 5. Yeah, it came out about a month ago.
But there's going to be a reboot as well.
Yeah, there's going to be another live action thing.
I don't know how we can quite. I'm kind of scared that they're not going to be able to capture like the magic of the original.
Yeah,
So,
there it is, Lorenzo. That's what you're talking about right there.
So how did that end up? Is that the animated one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did it? Did you watch that yet?
I did. I have not watched this because it's Blu-ray, but I did have the digital code, and I watched it digitally and have it in my digital library.
Was it good?
I'm gonna have to go back. It was good. It was okay. It was kind of confusing because the characters don't look distinctive enough. I think they're kind of like on model. It's kind of hard to see some of the characters within the characters that are animated.
What about the storyline?
The storyline, he kind of is jumping through time. That's the Box Lightner, and Delenn, is in there too. It's all about their connection and their love, and he's poking around to these alternative things like where the Shadow War didn't take place or the Shadow War took over everything. A lot of it was focused on the Shadow War, which was, of course, big Babylon 5.
Oh, yeah. That was like the Dominion War on Star Trek.
Now, and you had
spoiler alert on both of those.
And you had Kosh, right? Ambassador Kosh and his race. And it was kind of like both of them were, the human race was caught in between the two, the Shadow race and Kosh's.
The Vorlons?
The Vorlons, yeah, were caught in between kind of their war,
Because that was one of the things I thought was really fascinating about that. Kind of you got the angels and demons fighting it out, and then
pretty much because Kosh came out of his suit and he looked like a lit up angel because he was wearing that exo bodysuit or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, is that what? Because I thought after when they're in that suit, doesn't that protect people from seeing that? But they're here's a major plot spoiler.
And every race saw Kosh as someone different, like a deity. They saw not necessarily what they wanted to see, but was maybe, I don't know, a genetic code marker or something. Huh?
I don't think, sorry to interrupt. Londo didn't see anything, did he?
He didn't see anything, right? He was the only one that didn't see anything because he wasn't a man of faith.
Yeah,
he didn't believe in the gods.
He didn't have a soul, but that turns out I think he does. Like later on,
right? I mean,
it's like
he did some very despicable things, but they always kept that. Well, I regret it. The shadow people totally take him over.
And what's his name? Narn. He ends up. He ended up. It wasn't that encounter. Was it? Was it that?
What,
Or was it
the
when
lizard guy with the spots on his head?
yeah, wasn't it when he basically like psychically, I'll just say abused Londo and went into his mind? Is that when Kosh contacted him? Was when he was doing
Oh,
that?
I would have to go back
Or
and
was
watch
it,
those
or
episodes.
was
It's
it
been
or was it when he saw that? There
I
was
did
some.
not know who was under the lizard guy's makeup. His voice sounded familiar, but I watched Enterprise and he did an episode of Enterprise outside of all that makeup. He's
Yeah,
passed.
there was so much crossover between the different actors on the different Star Trek shows.
Well,
And
now when I go back and watch that, and I think you can watch Babylon 5 on Tubi, at least the very first season. I was
oh,
kind
it's
of going
available
through.
on there. That'd be the way I can. I mean, I've got a DVD or Blu-ray, one of the
Right,
two, but
right.
it would be easier for me to right
Yeah,
now
I
to
was looking through
watch it
some
on
stuff for
digitally
I was
right now.
looking through some stuff on Tubi. I just happened to find their sci-fi uh you know connection on YouTube here and clicked on it and it took me to Tubi and it's like, yeah, I've been wanting to get back to Tubi just to uh just to watch some more Dark Shadows,
Oh,
but
they did that. I've heard they got a lot of good stuff on there. I remember enjoying one I've seen.
oh, they've even got some Fourth Doctor Who on there.
How do you? So, do you have to catch a stream when it's live, or can you watch it at any
No, you
time?
can watch anytime and you
Oh, so
can
it's like with Netflix or Hulu or something where you can just okay.
yeah, you can also let me see if I can find it here. You can also mark things and unmark them, put it in your favorites.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. So it's like these other services, but you don't have to pay money for it. It's like ad supported, or how does that work?
Oh, it's free. Totally free.
Do you get like short ads or something?
Is I think the way they do that is uh
Yeah, they have
uh
commercials, Lorenzo.
commercials, yeah.
Yeah. Are they shorter ones than the
Not necessarily. They're just not as often, but sometimes they're like 4 minutes of commercials, But it's only like maybe twice an hour instead of every 2.
oh, okay. Because and I'm totally serious here. I've been I had a situation before when I was watching TV where there were so many advertisements that I couldn't even remember what was going on in the show. If I like, because it was
Yeah,
just like constant. I mean, uh, it doesn't happen every time I watch TV or which is rare. But it
Like
did
you
no,
happen
Tubi's
during
pretty good, and they've
the
got
show.
like a huge library of stuff.
Yeah, and if you look up just on YouTube,
Mhm.
will take you directly to open up another screen to Tubi. It's like I didn't know they had the classic Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker on there. You got the old Johnny Quest. You have the UK sci-fi sort of comedy Red Dwarf. You've got Babylon 5,
Then it's got a
Oh,
nice like if
wow.
you go to the homepage
Greatest
and
American
go to
Hero.
categories,
Oh,
it breaks it up real nice for you, like
Hmm.
sci-fi, horror comedy,
oh, that's
like
awesome.
all. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I love Greatest American Hero. Well, especially that very, very short, maybe it was like 8 episodes per season. The second season, I didn't think was as good. It's
It,
still a shame it was.
yeah,
it's
Uh,
got Krypton on there. I did not watch that when it came out. My friend did, John, but the world of Krypton or whatever, it's just called Krypton. but they've got the first season of that on there. And old classics like I Dream
Oh,
of Jeannie, and they've got like George C. Scott and A Christmas Carol. So there are Christmas
mm,
movies on there as well.
What was the one
like
you
there's
mentioned?
tons of horrible B horror movies, which my wife and I love to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was the
And
one
new
you for Greatest American Hero? There was another one that I enjoyed that you had mentioned.
well, I know that there was a one and done that John Ritter did, sort of a movie where he played a superhero. That was
Oh
good.
yeah, I forgot what that one was. Yeah, and then
You
there was the one with the one Wayans brother. Uh,
oh you mentioned Red
well,
Dwarf. So that might have been what I was thinking. That was
And
an
and,
one.
and
I
this
forget what
is this is cool. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it. I have it on disc,
no,
but
not
you can watch the canceled
with the green costume.
Swamp Thing that was like 13. It's got Madame Xanadu and the Blue Devil and some characters in there that they were developing that was,
Hmm.
you
Was
know,
it the more one? The reboot?
yeah,
Must
the
be it.
one that they did fairly recently and was
Yeah.
canceled. And it was really a good show. Maybe just the expense of it, but you can
Yeah,
watch
Oh, is that
all
it?
13 episodes of Swamp Thing over there on Tubi.
Oh,
Jason
sweet! I'm about to watch that.
Jason X is over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the sci-fi horror movies I like.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I remember that show. The Swamp Thing
They've got
was.
a lot of the animated too, like Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. I've got that on
Hmm.
disc. Superman Public and Batman Public Enemies, The Death of Superman. They've got a lot of the DC animated stuff over there.
Yeah, and DC's pretty good at the animated stuff. They just suck at the live stuff.
They've got some of the old classics, 1979 Jack Frost, Christmas movie. I
Mm.
like those things.
Is that
Some of
right?
those, some of this stuff I have already collected on disc, but they've got Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. I've got the whole 5 seasons of that, but
Oh, wow. Yeah, I
but
haven't
they
never
they
even-
have the first at least the first season on there. They've
Oh,
got
wow.
they've got yesterday would have been Kirk Douglas's birthday.
Hmm.
He was in the final countdown, and they also have the Philadelphia Experiment. Both those movies deal with the same thing, which I highly recommend the final Philadelphia Experiment. Both of them are there too. They've got the Body Stealers.
I
I've
think
not seen that.
Well,
I think Shadowhawk's having a side conversation.
sorry, Mama Hawk was talking to me. Sorry.
Twilight Zone, the movies on there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh wow, that
They've
was
got a lot of the old Hercules movies. They've got Tubi originals too. They've got a Tubi original movie called Dead Zone on there. So they do.
Yeah,
Tubi
there's
does do
some pretty
original.
good like original stuff on there.
so. Which Hercules was it? Was it
What was your
What's that?
question?
which Hercules series was it? Was it the
Oh, let me see here.
one with Marlon Brando? It's like Zeus, or was it like an earlier one?
No, Marlon
Oh
Brando.
no,
that
these are like the
that was
50s,
Clash of the
60s
Titans.
ones,
Okay,
the
was it
old ones.
like
Yeah,
Hercules?
they've even got Farscape on there. They've even got Farscape on there, the first
Yeah,
series.
Farscape is a good show.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's another one that I missed.
They've got Time Cop. I enjoyed Time Cop. They got the Dead Zone. That was a good series too, Dead Zone.
I heard there was a recent Time Cop that came out not long ago. I heard it's supposed to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
The first
Yeah,
game
originally
it was
band.
so it was made to be so different and like so judgy, like
Or
the
the
first
Universal Soldier,
the,
I'm thinking of. Might be in
Oh,
it.
and they've got disaster movies, so your wife's probably watched a lot of those, huh, Shadow Hawk?
What's that?
They have disaster movies on here too.
Oh yeah, my wife loves those.
The lake intrigued me, and I put that on my list. The lake with that creature that was in the water.
Yeah, that was
I,
actually
I,
pretty good.
I was wanting to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. They do have a movie called 12 Disasters.
Yeah, Rosie's
Seen
seen
it?
it.
Oh, yeah. I figured she had.
The Farscape that they made
She
that.
watches all those, man. Like if there's a fire, the
Oh, wow.
world
They got the old.
freezes,
They have the old Lou
volcanoes.
Ferrigno and Bill Bixby movie, The Incredible Hulk, the trial of the Incredible Hulk on here.
Oh
Hey,
wow.
Am I roboting? Can you guys hear me?
Not bad.
Not bad. They have Phantasm remastered on here.
Phantasm's awesome.
I was going to say about Farscape that was a jarring show. Like I originally didn't like it because I couldn't understand it, but like they deliberately put the viewer in like you're seeing things through Crichton's eyes as he's like blasted off into this weird part of the galaxy or universe or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I didn't understand the show at first. It didn't make any sense to me. And it wasn't until it was online, available for streaming, like it currently is now. I think I saw it on like Netflix, but that I actually started enjoying it. It's like it took me, more than one episode. That first episode, it's just, I don't, and like, and even if you don't like, even if you were to skip the first episode and you're trying to watch the future episode, I thought it was kind of hard to
follow. Look, it was new Star Trek. I thought it was awesome. I liked the V'ger concept. I make no apologies. It runs a little slow by today's pacing, but you got to put yourself back in that time. If you don't do that, don't do that with movies, you're being disingenuous.
Oh, I think it's still full time. I think it was
definitely
so different, like a living ship. I think I just didn't understand the concept of the show to be, when it was
right.
It was.
I thought it was a great concept to take a satellite that we had launched in the 70s. That was, which just now has reached the, in the last year or so, reached the edge of our galaxy and is now out of range, as they say. I thought it was great. I mean, we were getting new Star Trek. What's to complain about? And later we would remember when Christopher Lloyd, was he Back to the Future? Am I getting the name right? Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher.
He played a Klingon?
No.
Oh, really?
I didn't watch Star Trek.
Yeah, he was a Klingon. Yeah.
Was this an Enterprise?
No, it was one of the Star Trek movies.
Huh.
Yeah. Look it up. Klingon. He made a good Klingon.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's definitely a good actor.
Is he still alive or did he pass away?
Oh, he's alive. Yeah.
I think he's alive, yeah.
I remember him on Taxi. Well, okie dokie. Playing Jim.
He was on there.
Jim Whatcha.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I don't quite remember. I was pretty young back then.
They had some of the best, like, I mean, they had these high quality, like, eventually, like, going to Hollywood actors on there. I mean, like Danny DeVito, wasn't he on there?
Yeah, he was on there.
Danny DeVito.
That was kind of like the very first when Saturday Night Live came out, which I was probably Ashley. I don't know, was it before I had?
What was his name? Andy Kaufman was on there.
Yeah.
The dude
Oh,
that
you're
played
talking about
Alex.
Andy Kaufman. He played
yeah.
Latka. He played
Yeah,
Latka. Thank you
exactly.
very much.
And then what's her name played his wife later on. She's Carol Kane. I love her to death, man. She's so funny.
Trying to remember Carol Kane's.
Do you remember Scrooge with Bill Murray? She played the little elf that just kicks his ass. The little fairy
I'm
that's
gonna have to rewatch that because somebody was asking about that recently, and I remember it being good, but or at least I liked it at the
yeah.
time.
Instead of like the ghost of Christmas past or whatever, she shows up. She's like this little Christmas sprite, and she's just like punching him in the face and whacking him with her fucking wand. It's like,
Yeah, that was one of the more unique adaptations of the Christmas Carol I've seen.
yeah, definitely different.
There was which one's the black and there's this black and white version. Is that the one that's on?
Oh, like the classic one.
Yeah, there's one that has like it had this beating heart scene or something that freaked me out as a kid.
Oh, huh. I don't know.
They showed it was like this is Scrooge's heart or something, and he's at the cemetery. It really messed
Oh,
with
wow.
I might have even turned it off. I thought it was just real good.
Oh, like when the ghost of Christmas Future is showing him his own grave or whatever.
Yeah, I think that was
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're
been
talking
so
about.
long since I watched any of those.
Well, dude, when you're a little kid, that shit's scary, you know? Like, the first time I saw that, I was little. I was like, what the fuck, man? This goes to Christmas Future. It's not no, you know?
Oh, yeah, where the Christmas of the future and all that. The
Yeah, he shows him
Scrooge. Yeah,
his own grave.
Yeah, when there's and when there's
yeah.
when there's
Well,
like black and white versions of that too.
oh yeah,
Mm,
I like the
Make me-
that's what I'm
1932
talking about.
version. Really.
Yeah, the old school. I saw that when I was a little
Yeah,
kid.
Mm.
That freaked me out, man.
And you
we're
can
talking about the same one. And it was like,
when you go to Tubi, Lorenzo, you can push my stuff, and it's stuff that you've saved that you want to watch or whatever. Or if you've started continuing watching, it'll pick up where you
Mm,
left off. Haven, I bought very cheaply. I think maybe for a whole season of Haven season 2 for at the Dollars place for like a $1.25.
which
I
one's
got a
that?
whole season. Well, they got Haven the first season on here that I haven't watched yet. So
Which Haven is? What's Haven about? Is that the one where they're in
oh,
the
it's about a town on the East Coast that's isolated. Something's going on. It's kind of like a mystery type thing.
oh, is that
It's
one based on a Stephen King thing?
I think yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah,
There's
it's
one
not
where everybody's in the witness
the one
protection.
season I watched wasn't too bad. They've even got something called Dune Drifter on there.
Hmm.
So it's Dune related, and they have the Librarian movie on there.
Yeah, they did a few of
Uh,
those with the kid that used to be on ER. What's his name? Noah something.
yeah, yeah, and he was also in another sci-fi thing that I didn't think was really did that good. I can't remember what it was, but I bought all 5 seasons of it. Yeah, Bob Newhart was in that Librarian movie. Bob Newhart. He played
Really?
he played one of the librarians that stayed there and kind of advised him.
Bob Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they've got new stuff. They've got classic stuff. I'd highly recommend the Philadelphia Experiment and the Final
yeah.
Countdown, where they
Yeah.
kind of like the aircraft carrier, and this is, they say,
Yeah,
based on
travel through time.
true story. You know that
Mm.
they really did experiment with time travel and sent one. Well, they were experimenting with stealth technology to hide ships, and had, for some of the smaller ships, but they tried the larger ship. And then when, according to, what they said, when they came back to their time, they had some of the crewmen in the bulkheads and stuff, they were kind of merged with the ship.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, well, they made a couple good movies about some of that with different takes on it, and
Yeah.
Tubi's got both of them on there. I plan to watch it. Rewatch some of those.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I think the Philadelphia experiment was the big one, right? That was the big budget.
Well, Kirk Douglas was in the other one.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if he gets people's channels shadow banned, like just
the final countdown had Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen, and James Fratino. He was in Dynasty, I think, or one of those. You would probably know him if you saw his
I know
face.
if I saw him.
Now, the Philadelphia experiment, that was a little lesser known as far as actors and actress. I had to see the credits on that one. I think New World did that one. I'm trying.
I think I knew that one better than the Final Countdown, actually.
Probably so, but now the Final Countdown is a good movie.
It's a final countdown. Oh,
You're thinking Europe. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah. The so European. I knew we should have brought Dutch Marks.
Trying to look at the credits here and see who's in the Philadelphia Experience, starring Michael Paré, right? Pare.
Michael Paré.
Yeah. Okay, Michael Paré.
He was, you remember, oh God, what was that movie? On the Dark Side.
Right, right. Yeah, and Nancy Allen. Nancy Allen. Yeah. So those are the two Princey.
Oh, Nancy Allen, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of bad at remembering names.
I don't know how you back up out of this stuff, though.
Back it up.
Back it up. I'll take it. Boop, 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 boop.
I have to do that at work all the time. I got a forklift that has no safety on it, so I just
check it out, Lorenzo. I know that Horror Mike talks a lot about Tubi and other free services like that.
There's all kinds of good horror stuff on TV. And they're constantly bringing on new stuff. Like every month they bring on.
Well, if you like family, what I was surprised is that they were doing original productions over there.
Not a whole lot yet, but they do.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Like that helps set you apart. That says, it just is a exclusive.
Isn't there like a Me TV or something? Because I think
Me TV. Yep, I see people posting on that.
If you do like the Fire Stick, Lorenzo, you can get Tubi, you can get Plex, you can get Me TV. There's like a ton of free services you can grab.
And it is amazing what's actually on there. It's pretty good stuff.
Oh, I haven't watched, regular streaming TV or anything since I got my Fire Stick. I'm like, I have no use for the video store, nothing anymore. I don't need
it. I think video stores went out a while back.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, mine turned into a place for CBD oil for a while. I don't know.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
places.
I don't know if it's still there, but it's like it replaced our family video, which I didn't realize it was this big chain that was in several locations. I just thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
here.
Family Video is huge, dude. Well, they were.
Yeah, they had quite a good
We
selection.
we had a ton of them here in Indiana, and they're like almost non-existent now.
Yeah, it seemed like they were really good at curating movies where I could there were all sorts of cool movies that I would just discover going through there, and they'd be like wow, this is like
Yeah,
some
well,
classic movie
I
that
think
I
that
hadn't
also
heard
depends
about.
on the store, the franchisee, the owner. You gotta have somebody that really likes movies running the place, and then they have better stock.
They had oh, okay, that makes sense. Like they had the Midnight Cowboy. Still don't remember what was was about. I guess it was originally rated X when it came out, and then
Uh-huh.
maybe
Yeah.
re-released as not rated or rated R or something. But I can't really remember what that was about.
That was like early depiction of gay sex and
Oh, okay.
the like
No wonder I
underground,
blocked it out of my
the
mind.
underground of LA and stuff,
I just remember that so that's why I blocked it out then. But
Yeah,
it
probably.
was
It was
interesting
it.
that they had stuff like that were like this is some sort of groundbreaking film from whatever time.
What you do? Stick it in there again.
They even had a section called Modern Classics, and I like that one because
Why is everything
it was
going in cut?
maybe the 70s or 80s, and some great movies that I would consider classic, but it wasn't from like the 1930s or something, it's a modern day classic. I don't know why I'm defining what a modern classic is, but so somebody listens to like 80s music. Is that considered oldies music now?
What's that?
Is 80s music considered oldies music now?
I guess so, bro. I mean,
Probably, yeah.
I love like a lot of the '70s stuff, and I know that's like all on the oldies channels.
Oh, wow.
Like, fuck, I'm getting
Because
so old.
like even when I was in high school, like it was the 90s. It was like cool stuff to listen to, it, like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Certainly Nirvana, like I had grown up listening to that, 1970s music and 60s.
Oh, yeah.
You see bubblegum music, which
Well, dude, I mean, well, I play all kinds of different instruments and stuff all my life too, but
oh
like I
really?
like everything from classical music to jazz, big band era stuff, all the way through doo-wop, uh, early rock and roll, heavy metal.
Doo-wop, kind of underrated these days, but that was an awesome.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. Anytime somebody does really good like harmonies in their
Oh, yeah.
music, nice 4-part harmonies and vocals and shit, I dig that. Um, yeah,
Like some of that old R&B and soul, like Motown stuff. But like maybe like in the late '80s or early '90s, I used to think I hated rhythm and blues because like the stuff then I don't know was I don't think that was as good as the party stuff.
no, yeah,
You
that
know,
stuff. Yeah, the '90s were like a barren wasteland for the most part for me, as far as like new music coming out that I liked. There was very little that I liked. It was just like,
Teenage Wasteland.
yeah, it was terrible.
I
I
like
hated
some
I hated the 90s.
that came out was like really creative and like there was a lot of like alternative or underground pop or what like that
Yeah,
was
there was just so much cool stuff going on in the 80s, and then it's just like the 90s, it was all just depression and everybody's on fucking heroin and everybody wants to die. And it's just like, oh, God, stop it.
that was that band Arrested Development. Though that might have been late '80s. I can't remember. It was '80s or '90s. But they were like combining like kind of like soul and R&B with hip hop. I don't know. I thought that was good. Um, don't hear much about them anymore. They might still be around, but
Oh, yeah, no, most of those bands are long
Here's
gone.
a movie that I'm wanting to watch, but now it's not on Tubi. It's Maroon. Here's the trailer for it.
Did you go see Godzilla yet, Lorenzo? Speaking of lizard representation.
oh, Godzilla.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to.
Dude, I mean, I haven't
That's
seen it yet.
that's a
I haven't
hard
seen it
no.
like that.
Do you remember this movie? Gene Hackman, Don Franciscus, who's passed away now. Gene Hackman's the only one still living, and then Richard Crenna playing astronauts in Maroon.
My only question is, why
This is Iron Man. How do you copy?
do they have Kotex on there?
I read you the same. On my mark, TV transmission from camera A. Mark. Smile.
And you're going to see David Jansen that did The Fugitive here in a minute. He's right there in the middle of the screen in the brown coat.
Mm-hmm.
David Jansen's in this. Right there, he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Marooned, but it looks like an interesting movie.
Why do they have jock straps on their head?
All three of you. How about the other camera, Jim? Camera B coming on.
Oh, Richard Crenna. Hey, it's a real McCoy, Luke.
Mark.
Let me tell you, son. Get the sheriff.
He was in the Rambo movies too.
You really shout the shit out of him, boy.
He was Chucklehead, wasn't he? And if he hadn't have died, man, Franciscus was a big actor in the early 70s.
Roger, we have an update on your initial phase maneuver. Delta V, 249 at 0.3 feet per second.
This is Mission Control, Houston, at 22 minutes into the flight of Iron Man 1. After a brief 20-minute flight across the
Iron Man 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Crossing the Mediterranean.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's marooned. I'll have to, find a copy.
That's a strange coincidence, isn't it? The ship is called Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. Well, Iron Man was out, and I don't know when did they do the Iron Man album? What year did that come out?
Oh, that was 70s, bro. That was
yes.
Black
Sabbath. Can we kind of
Black
narrow it down
Sabbath's
to
second album, either 71 or 72, somewhere in there.
Okay, so that predated. Okay, that they may have got it.
When did Iron Man the cartoon come out?
Well, now that was 60s. That was 1966. Yeah.
Okay.
And he made his appearance in what, like 63 or something? He's one of the very first Marvel characters they came out with.
Right. So Iron Man's been around a long time. So
yeah, 60 years.
That's the thing. I've never noticed that before. That was the name of the vessel.
Well, do you remember Marooned at all?
Not particularly, but I'm sure I
didn't either.
I'm sure I probably saw it.
Gene Hackman's in his 80s. He's retired like maybe 20 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit since
he's looking real thin and frail now, but he's, You know, he's been in
Well,
a lot of stuff.
he didn't want to be in front of the camera looking like, an old
Oh, I don't blame him. I mean, Cary Grant, while he was still, you know, fairly nice. Of course, he dropped a lot of acid in the 60s. But he, you know, he wanted people to remember him as he was. He'd already made his mark and made his money
I
in
didn't know he
investment, I
was
guess.
so he was one of the guys hanging out with Timothy O'Leary back in the day.
He even did a book or something. I don't know. He came out with, it's well known that he was an acid head, big time for years.
I'm gonna have to look into Cary Grant. Sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah. I just saw a picture of him hanging out with who was Elvis after one of the premiere of his shows or something.
Yeah, I was a big space cowboy for a little while.
That's a good way to put it.
Where'd Lorenzo go? Did he drop out? Oh shit!
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's his device. Maybe he was like, I don't know. But hey,
Lorenzo, love you, brother.
Glad to have Lorenzo in here. Just thought I would share that.
Whoops. There I go, defaulting too much again.
What? Yeah, well.
So I gotta wait, and I figure I'll wait until at least tomorrow or Tuesday, and then check my first international tracking on a package. See how that goes.
Yeah.
How long you think it takes just to get out of the States? Like a week?
It might be 2 weeks before she gets it.
Oh, but
it might not. These things are up and down.
Priority guaranteed. That's the only way I could get tracking on it. So it was supposed to be 3 to 5 days, but we'll see.
Okay, so yeah, it'll probably stick to that. I forgot that you had sent it that way.
Well, that's the only way I could get a tracking number. Otherwise, you can't get no insurance, no tracking, no nothing. You just kick it out there in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then you have to fill in a little box. There's a tiny little box. The lady pointed out to me. She's like, make sure you fill this out, because if you don't, then if it can't be delivered, they will just fucking incinerate it. And I was like, oh no.
What?
There's a little box that says if it can't be delivered, you got 2 choices. And the first choice is just dispose of it, and the second choice is return to sender. And if you don't fucking fill in that little return to sender box, they will just fucking throw it in the incinerator and it's gone.
Now, I have never heard that before. I didn't even know they had an incinerator.
Yeah, and then the lady at the fucking post office told me that depending on the case, that she's heard that people have even been charged at their door at the time of delivery because England imposes some kind of tax on the person you send the gift to. And I was like, it's a fucking Christmas gift. Why would they do that?
Talked about that. It was called some kind of something. Venmo tax or something. I don't know exactly.
And that's why my shit got sent back last time, because the lady didn't know what she was doing. I didn't have to fill out any of this.
I had never heard about them incinerating packages, though.
Dude, I had to fill out a whole customs form and everything.
Well, yeah, you got to fill out a customs form if it goes out.
Well, the first time I sent it and it got sent back, the lady didn't have me do any of that. She just took it and was like, okay, don't worry about it. And then it was gone for 2 weeks, and it showed back up on my doorstep one day. And I was like, okay, well, at least it came back. But this time the lady knew what she was doing. She's like, oh, yeah, you got to fill out this, and you got to do this, and make sure you fill out that, because otherwise they'll just destroy your shit. Wait a minute, what the fuck?
I have never heard that before about the incineration. That's, I mean, what do they do with the stuff?
Australia does that too, dude.
But they always insist put return to sender.
It's returned.
Now I know with you're going out of the United States, it's a different matter.
It's returned to sender in Australia and England. CINDER.
Return address.
not sender.
Cinder, like burn up. Yeah. Cider. Yeah.
Because I've heard they do that in Australia too. They don't send your shit back. They're not paying that postage. They just fucking throw it away and throw it in the fucking burn pile.
Well, almost makes, well, I won't say it. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We've reached the 2-hour mark.
Don't matter.
Everybody's,
It's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
it matters
and,
to me. It matters to me.
I hope everyone has a good, it's only 2 more weeks, and then I get a week off for Christmas and New Year. Woo-hoo. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I need to check my Twitter. I've been talking to some people about coming on, so we'll have some
Hail
good
everyone,
interviews coming up.
and keep everybody in your prayers that needs
Yeah.
them. And hey, who
And
doesn't
we all
need
need
them?
them.
Exactly, who doesn't need them? So,
Some of us
and
more than
what do
others.
we always say, Rex?
Be keep collecting.
Yeah, that
Keep
was
reading
me.
too.
Hell, all we love you.
Yes, we do.